My request for action is to the Treasurer to prioritise the regional infrastructure projects in the next state budget. Regional Victoria's population is growing rapidly and we need significant investment in our roads, hospitals, schools and rail. In the last state budget, Regional Victoria only received 13% of new infrastructure spending, but nearly 25% of Victorians call it home. In the last 8 years, the Victorian Government has increased its spending on major projects from $16 billion to $106 billion. Victoria's big build is pouring billions into Melbourne projects, while regional Victoria is left waiting for basic infrastructure. Hospital upgrades are long overdue at Cobram, Bright, Dalesford, Euroa and Shepparton, and Mildura also needs a new hospital. In Kilmore and Shepparton, large trucks still drive through the centre of town and they've asked for a bypass for decades. In Mildura, locals have been lobbying for a new residential drug and alcohol rehabilitation facility for years. Until it opens, locals need to travel over 4 hours for support. In Kahuna, the community have asked for a new childcare centre for the last 8 years because they need it to help the town grow. East Loddon College is waiting on upgrades, and at Bridgewater Primary, funds for a playground were promised 3 years ago. The Murray Basin Rail project was due to finish in 2018 and we are still waiting. Last year's floods put further pressure on our basic infrastructure needs and funds are needed to help communities recover. Our roads are falling apart after years of neglect and last year's floods made them even worse. In New South Wales, the government allocated $500 million to help local councils repair roads, but our local councils are still waiting. Regional Victorians are tired of waiting and deserve a fair share of state government funding. $30 billion of taxpayers' money has already been wasted on project cost blowouts. Imagine the difference that would make building the infrastructure that we need in regional Victoria. Former Labor Premier John Brumby chaired a regional economic development and services review, and he urged the Victorian Government to show leadership in prioritising and investing in regional and rural economic growth. I totally agree. I ask the Treasurer to listen to local communities and prioritise regional infrastructure in the next state budget.